Yeah, okay. Firstly, I would never kill myself. That's the first thing. Jesus. Right.
I'm giving you easy questions. It's a soft topic. It's not like a heavy topic.
No, but it's true. But that's the final line of morality they're trying to pierce. Like I said, I have no problem with gay people. And then we talked about LGBTQ and how they're trying to mix it all together and take people who are on the extreme end of the spectrum with people who live fairly normal lives. You can be a gay person. This is another thing I want to make clear. You can be a gay person and live a very normal life. You can also be a gay person and be a degenerate. Deciding to get naked in front of children has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. That's just the fact that you're a degenerate person. It doesn't matter if you sleep with a man or a woman. The fact that you want to go and walk around naked in front of kids is degenerate behavior, regardless of sexual orientation. It has nothing to do with it. It's only accepted if you're homosexual. If you're a heterosexual, it's a crime. For some reason, if it's a homosexual, it's not a crime, but it's the same act, and it's degenerate. It's the final line. The final line is children. It's the final line of sexual morality that they're trying to attack. They've attacked every other line. It's the final line they're trying to pierce. And I think a lot of this pedophilia comes down to, control. I'm going to say something else which is not safe for work and probably going to get me canceled, but I'm going to say it.
It's in the last 15 minutes,
It's
so
fine.
they're not going to watch the whole thing.
You're right. I'm mixed race. I'm half black, half white. The black side of my family, both sides of my family, because I'm in the middle, they like to make slight racist kind of jokes at each other, right? The white side of my family are like, how many are in jail? This. And the black side of my family are like, have you ever seen a black pedophile? I ain't seen a black pedophile. You ever seen a black pedophile? And I'm like, that's a good point. And I said to my cousin, who's black, I said, why is there no black pedophilia? He goes, well, because, we got game. Women like us, we can control women, but you white boys, you have no game, so you need to get to control another way. And I sat there and goes, well, I sat there and I thought, okay, these aren't my words. Anyway, I sat there and I thought, well, obviously you're joking, but there's a degree of perhaps merit to that. I think that a lot of the attraction to this bullshit is to feel powerful. I think if you have a masculine frame and women respect you, you have no desire to go get something innocent and completely control it because you have enough control, enough frame in your relationship to feel like a man and things are good and things are happy. But if you're like a very overweight loser weirdo and no one ever respects you or looks up to you and you can't control anyone on any level, not control in a negative way, but just be respected or looked at or admired, then they end up leaning towards this degeneracy because maybe they can make a child admire them because a child's so innocent and so young and so naive. I think that's where a lot of it comes from, which means that a lot of this pedophilia and stuff is actually enacted by beta males. A lot of it's enacted by these liberals and psychos and feminists. Have you noticed all these male feminists online end up getting arrested for sexual crimes? Have you not noticed it? They all do. They're all pedophiles and weirdos. All these Antifa guys and all these people who talk about virtue and want to save the world, they're the ones who are actually out there hurting people. So, yeah, what Mel Gibson is doing is super interesting. It's super interesting that he's attacking the most liberal establishment on the planet. Super interesting that he's attacking Hollywood, which is obviously the heart of the liberal propaganda machine. And he's saying they're the worst people on earth. And I sit and say, well, if you take these people outside of Hollywood, would they matter? This is a really interesting point. You can actually apply this to nearly any job. If you took you away from your sales job, or took me away from my role, or you away from, let's say you had a sales job at a specific company, you would still be a good communicator, you'd still know how to speak, you'd still have charisma, you'd still be a man of status, you'd still know how to walk, you still have a presence, you still know how to behave, right? There are certain people in certain establishments where if you strip them of their title, they're nothing. If you took Harvey Weinstein away, or Weinstein, whatever his name is, away from Hollywood, he's just a fat, old, ugly dork. That's all he is. He's only something because of Hollywood. Outside of that, he's nothing. These are the people who end up using their influence in whatever sphere they're in to do negative things, because outside of it, they ain't shit. If you're a real G, if you're a real man, if I was in Hollywood, I was a real man, I wouldn't have to use Hollywood to get girls. I'm fine. I think a lot of this stuff is run, I think a lot of these people who are doing these things are just not very good or very impressive people. Oh yeah, you may be a big shot in Hollywood. Delete that from your resume. Who are you? Oh, you ain't shit. Sit down and talk to these people. What have you even done with your life? You ain't shit. You made it to the top of Hollywood by what? Who even knows how you got there? Wink, wink. You got there through whatever. So I think that's what a lot of this stuff is. And going back to everything we've been saying so far, Andrew, how do you solve pedophilia? I think if a man has a healthy sexual relationship with women and has options and feels respected by women and enjoys the company of women and women like him and admire him and look up to him, he will have no desire to go down the route of sexual perversion and chase children. I don't think he ever would. Why would he? Right? What my cousin said was only a joke. But sometimes there's a degree of truth in the humor. He's a young, good-looking black guy on the football team. He gets girls. Why would he do this dumb shit? When you see some fat, overweight video game loser, they're the ones on the TV doing it. So once again, like nearly any problem on earth, whether it's pedophilia, whether it's school shooting, whether it's men's mental health, whether it's women's mental health, whether it's female promiscuity, no matter what it is, whether it's crime, no matter what it is, how do you fix the problem? By building men of caliber, by building men of capability and status and honor and dignity, and by building men of ability to be good standing citizens who are respected by their peers. All of it comes back to improving men. All of it. Every single problem you can possibly name, even pedophilia, comes back to building strong men of capability who are respected. That's all. It's the baseline of humanity. Men always has been the baseline of humanity. And that's why nearly every problem we can name, whether it's pedophilia, whether it's anything else, school shooting, whatever, all of them are in a direct negative correlation with masculinity.
So crazy, right?